why is it important to accept a good, no, that's not the question. Why is it important for a public adjuster to do their freaking job, right? Before you getting that claim? Like, what are some of the things that a public adjuster should do throughout the life of a claim, obviously to get the claim paid and do the best service possible, but in the case that a claim does get denied, underpaid, delayed, whatever it is, and we need to take this thing to litigation, what are some of the things that a public adjuster should do throughout the life of the claim to really set it up nicely?
Well, like I told you a long time ago, and I continue to tell you,
yes, sir,
and I will tell any public adjuster, is that on some level, you should have righteous indignation for the concept of...
What is that?
That's the concept of being really pissed off, because an insurance company doesn't get to have the ability to take your money and say they're going to provide you with a service, give you a piece of the rock, an umbrella, being in good hands, whatever the case may be, and then at the same time decide that it can sit there and allow an insured to sit in their home or commercial property staring day in and day out at unrepaired covered damages, and giving an insurance company 90 days to make a determination. If a pipe is broken, what on earth do you need 90 days to be able to investigate, when all you need to do is either look at the insured's plumbing evaluation or have your old plumber come out? And how long is that possibly going to take? And how long, even after the plumber makes his evaluation from the insurance company relative to the cast iron drain lines, does it take for an insurance company to analyze that single page report? It's broken, it's not broken, we can agree, we can disagree, whatever the case may be. Why does it take 90 days? So when I this indignation, my viewpoint is that a public adjuster should have the same sort of viewpoint, which is it's not right, it's not fair, and we're not going to take it. And the reason we're not going to take it is because we have an obligation to represent our client. And the best way that we can represent our client is by getting in the insurance company's face and saying to them, what are you doing to take care of your policyholder? They pay you money and they're suffering because of your conduct. And so I say, and I tell you, and I tell every public adjuster, is write those emails and get it in the insurance company's face, which is, listen, the loss happened on this day, it was reported on that day, we provided you with our estimate on this day and sworn proof of loss, and we want you to come out and inspect the loss. How come you haven't done so? Is there anything else that you need? Is there anything else that you want? Here's everything on a silver platter for you. We'll give you another 5 days. We'll give you another 10 days. If you want to have a plumbing inspection, send your plumber out. What are you doing, Mr. or Mrs. Insurance Company Adjuster, to make sure that my client's claim is properly evaluated and paid? Because I'm just sitting here waiting for you to do the right thing, and so is my client, and we're getting tired of sitting here waiting, which is why this whole 90 days is sort of a farce.
It's ridiculous.
It really isn't 90 days. It's just a penalty statute, meaning that if they don't do what they're supposed to do within 90 days, they are supposed to pay interest on the value of the claim that they improperly denied or underpaid. That's all it necessarily means. And so when you ask the question about why do I want things to be done in a certain way so that they are presented on a silver platter, so that it helps me and it helps you and it helps the client. Obviously, what we just talked about is that it's clearly documenting your file, which is important. Right. It's clearly getting in the insurance company's face and making sure that the insurance company knows that you're serious and that you should be taken seriously, and that you're not somebody to be messed around with, because they've messed around with you in the past, and they know that if you don't do insurance company the right thing in the right amount of time, they're going to get a phone call from Mr. Lawyer or a lawsuit in a very short amount of time, and then they're going to be paying those double, triple, quadruple damages that they could have otherwise resolved the case for far less if they didn't act in such a negligent and inappropriate manner. So to do that sort of thing and to be able to get attorney's fees and costs, which is the reason why not only is it serving the benefit of helping the case go forward and making sure that you're properly doing your job, but when we get to court, one of the things that the court wants to know, if we ever get to a fee hearing, is what efforts did the insured or his public adjuster take in order to get this case resolved, and or did you just file a lawsuit because you wanted to try and get additional attorney's fees and costs? And if I can go and show a court, hey, judge, look, on February 2nd, here's a letter from the public adjuster asking for a coverage determination and a undisputed payment. Here's another request on February 10th. Here's another request on February 27th. Whatever the case may be, and its agent, public adjuster, is trying to do what they can do to try and get the case moving and along. And because there's no response, including those 14 days that they're supposed to respond to communications from you, they weren't doing their job. So it wasn't a concept of us just running to the courthouse to file a lawsuit. It was a concept of you didn't do what you were supposed to do, and that's why we're here.